Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Growing tired of knots, tangled up in problems, and not caring enough. Now I'm on a journey to find what's right, always telling the truth.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Eskow.
Jeff,
Doing bad time.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, welcome everybody to Sports World Radio. Glad everybody could be here today. I'm the host with the most, Jeff Escow, the co-host with the nost, Sean Mann, the update man. We'll bring him in a minute. You're listening to us on SportsWorldRadio.com, hanging out in the chat room over at Spreaker.com. If you don't have an account, it's free. Head on over to Spreaker.com. Hang out with us in the chat room, Spreaker.com. Get a free account. Come on over and hang out in Sports World Radio's chat room. Ask us a question. Tell us what you're thinking. Agree with us, disagree with us. We don't really care. If you want to get in touch with the show and you're a Skype user, head on over to SportsWorldRadio.com. If you're not already over there, for Skype users only, click the red button that says Call Now. I got to figure out a way to put on there. Call Now, you rat bastard. I got to figure out a way to put that on there. But it says Call Now. Click on Call Now for Skype users, and you will be directed right to the show. For non-Skype users, dial 619-663-3715. That's 619-663-3715. Skype users, just click that red button on SportsWorldRadio.com, and you'll be directed right to the show. Follow us over there on Twitter at twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio, and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Now, with all the crap out the way, what do you say? Hey, we bring in that co-host of ours, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing good, Jeff. Welcome, everybody, to Sports World Radio. 6:06 p.m. on the East Coast, which welcomes to 3:06 p.m. on the West Coast. It is Wednesday, July 23rd, 2014. Screw you, Myth. Hello, Encyclopedia Man. Weather right now, 84 degrees. And how are you, Jeff? And how's the weather out there in San Diego? You said it's pretty hot where you're at right there.
Okay. I was walking from the house to the studio, and I don't wear shoes, you know. If I would have cracked an egg on the sidewalk, I probably would have been able to cook it today. Does that give you an indication on how freaking hot it is here?
Probably pretty hot. Probably in the 90s we're talking about.
Okay,
huh?
when I called you, was my air conditioner still on?
Yeah, you were. Yeah, it was.
Okay, then. I didn't turn it off until the intro came on because it's freaking hot. It's freaking hot. I don't like freaking hot, man. Me no like hot. Me like comfortable.
Well, the weather right now is 84. It's finally feeling nice. It's supposed to be 66 tomorrow when I go to work, and I got to come home and get ready to do the show.
Look at Josh. He's still busting your butt about you making your 60-year-old dad shovel this driveway.
Yeah, guys make such a big deal about it. Yeah, I never have to hear the end of it. Poor old Sean this, poor old Sean that, blah, 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 blah.
They're busting your chops. Hey, did you know that ESPN is hanging out with the Dallas Cowboys today?
Yeah, I am Schmedley Encyclopedia Man. I'm the master of nicknames. Yes, I did hear that because the NFL, actually ESPN is going to be hanging out with all 32
teams,
NFL
right.
organizations. They kind of take a bus and they travel and they ask the coaches what do they expect for the upcoming NFL season.
How would you like to be on that bus right there? I'd like to be on that bus. I would like to be on that bus. So right before we went on the air, I turned to Sean and I said, hey, I got a great stat on the Cowboys. And then I went on the air. And he wasn't allowed to say anything.
Give me a break.
Right?
Right.
You got stuck. You couldn't say nothing because I was going on the air and I was doing my intro. You couldn't say nothing, right?
Yeah, I went pretty quiet.
Okay, so here's a really killer stat for you guys on the Dallas Cowboys alone. And Jerry Jones, I hope you are listening. And then I got another bone to pick. We'll get to that in a second. Since 2009, that was the last time they made the playoffs, correct?
Yes, the last time was 2009. Tony Romo finally won an NFL playoff game against the Philadelphia Eagles, 34-14,
Okay.
before they got blown out
So-
in the NFC divisional playoff game, 34-3 against the Vikings.
Okay, so the last time they were in the playoffs was 2009. Okay, so there's 32 football teams, correct?
32 total.
Okay, minus the Dallas Cowboys, there's 31, correct?
Right.
Okay, so check out this stat there, Mr. Shawnee. You're going to love this one. So is Josh. He's going to love this. 22 of those 31 teams have made the playoffs more recently than the Dallas Cowboys. Since 2009, since their last appearance in the playoffs, 22 of the 31 NFL teams have made the playoffs. How great is that, Sean? You like that one? You like that
Yeah.
stat? You like that there, Jerry Jones? Since 2009. Jerry Jones, I hope you're listening. Since 2009, 22 of the 31 other teams in the league have made the playoffs. More than you have.
But here's the thing. Jerry Jones would probably keep saying, my time's coming. You just keep waiting. Our time's going to come when we start bringing championship football back to Dallas.
When I heard that stat, I had to write that down to make sure I got that out there to all my peeps, because that's just an amazing stat, man.
It is.
That's just a way to go, Jerry Jones. Yeah, your team is doing really good. 22 of the 31 teams have made the playoffs since 2009. What the hell's the matter with you? And you ain't one of them. How sad is that?
Pretty sad when they've gone 1-7 in the last 8 playoff games.
Okay, now I said I had a bone to pick, right?
Yeah, you had a bone to pick. Yeah, what was that?
I'm going to pick this bone really good. It has nothing to do with anybody here involved with the show or anything like that. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
When was the first time you heard anybody say what I say all the time? That's a flying Fig Newton, right? My Fig Newton's phrase that I say, right?
Right. Oh, are you kind of getting that somebody from ESPN or somebody must be reading your mind with saying flying Fig Newton?
Yeah, because I heard it on ESPN yesterday.
I swear, somebody is listening to us. That's the way I have to look at it.
And it's starting to piss me off. I change my phrases because they're using them on ESPN, so I change them to different ones, and they start using those. And these are phrases that I make up. You don't hear nobody else using them but me.
No, you don't.
And now you hear them on ESPN. Who the hell is listening to the show and stealing my crap is what I want to know.
If we're going to be popular and make it big, there's no question somebody out there is listening to us.
I don't mind you using it. Throw me a bone. Say the phrase and just say, hey, we got that from SportsWorldRadio and Jeff Esca. Throw me a bone.
They would say, like, we picked it up from Sports World Radio.
Yeah, come on. Something.
Yeah.
Unstinking believable. That's a flying Fig Newton right there. Unstinking believable. It just pisses me off, you know? Just pisses me off all the time. Dr. Myth says, Sean, you cannot bring it if you had the rock catchphrase. Just bring it.
Well, I said, Myth, go to sleep in your bathroom, you bastard.
It's just, it's just upsetting, man. It's just Yeah, it just pisses me off sometimes. I don't care that you're using it. Just throw me a bone and say, hey, I didn't make this phrase up. This is the guy that made it up. How about that?
It is 13 minutes past the hour on this 23rd of July, 2014. Sad news from the NFL. Broncos owner Pat Bowlen.
Hold on. Time out. Did you say Bruins?
I was going to rephrase that. Broncos instead of Bruins. Broncos owner Pat Bowlen has decided to step down because the 70-year-old owner has battled something which is called Alzheimer's disease.
Hey, Sterling. Hey, Donald Sterling. Why don't you take a little hint from this guy, huh? Go ahead. Donald Sterling's screwing everything up. You know that, right?
He is screwing everything up. I guess we'll
get to that. Yeah. We got a 2-hour journey to go on. We will get to it.
Yeah, and according to another source, the Clippers CEO said that Doc Rivers will not return to coaching if Donald Sterling remains owner of the Los Angeles Clippers.
Look at all ththese guys. Hey, Jeff, seriously, trademark your saying so you can sue ESPN's ass to the gutter. Jeff is the boss, ESPN. Damn Skippy, man. They ain't writing their own crap. They're stealing their crap. And they ain't giving the proper due to the person who comes up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that our producer, Josh Lopez, goes back and listens to all our shows. I know that.
He does a great job.
Yeah, he goes back and listens to all our shows. Hey, Josh, I want you to do me a favor from now on. I know I'm putting a little bit more on your plate. When you're listening to our shows, I want you to write down the phrase I say and how many times I say it. Okay? I want you to start making me a list of my phrases and then sending them to me so I can catch these sons of bitches. And you're right, Dr. Myth. I'm going to start freaking trademarking them because it's ridiculous. Hey, we're going to run to our first break here at Sports World Radio. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you on a 2-hour sports journey each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central,
Figure that out for yourself.
that's right. Hey, you know something, Sean? I was talking to Sean during the break, okay? This is what I'm doing. I'm bringing back an oldie but a goodie. I'm bringing back one of my old catchphrases that I haven't used in 4 years. ESPN, you take this one, and we're going to have some serious problems. Because I am the only one, and I told Sean this when we were waiting to come back on the air. I am the only one that's allowed to use this because I have permission from the owner of the song. So don't screw with me, ESPN. And you want to know something? The owner of the song is no longer living. So you can't get permission from him. And his wife knows that I have permission from him because he gave me permission from him in front of his wife. So she knows too, and she's still alive. So you can't get permission. So if I see you using it, I'm suing the living dickens out of you, ESPN. So no more. No stinking more stealing my catchphrases, you freaking rat bastards. Hey, Josh, ESPN is a rat bastard candidate of the week.
Oh, so that's why, because they're
Stealing my
quotes.
Stealing my phrases, correct. And you'll know when I say the phrase. You'll know what it's going to be. You'll know exactly what it is. All right, Sean, what do we got for another topic, buddy?
All right, 20 minutes past the hour. We're talking about Donald Sterling.
Donald
If Sterling
Sterling.
stays,
Oh, my God.
Doc Rivers says it's likely to go. The interim CEO of
Hey,
the LA
Sean?
Clippers
Sean?
testified to state court
Sean,
Tuesday afternoon.
Sean. Hold on a second. You're breaking up a little bit. Let's get him back on the line here. He's having a little. We're having a little tech problems with Skype today. No big deal. Holy sea trout! There it is.
So Doc Rivers has said that he may be gone from the LA Clippers after he signed that big deal in the summer of 2013.
Do you really think he's going to leave? I think it would hurt, more importantly, if sponsors left more than Doc Rivers left.
The way I look at it is the Clippers are the team that knows that they want to be a strong team in the Western Conference, but with Donald Sterling out there, this is a very, very big distraction. He is a cancer to the Clippers. He's not going away without a fight. He knows perfectly well that he is trying to do whatever he can to keep being owner of the LA Clippers, but a lot of the players and the coaches are realizing we don't want to play for this guy. Look at what he's done. He's screwed up. He made the biggest blunder of all with a conference call that got totally blown out of proportion back in late April.
Yeah, he had, from what I understand, he had a 3 to 4 hour meeting with his wife on last Sunday, and then after that had like a 2-hour meeting with Ballmer. And I thought maybe that would be that, but now he's turning around and I don't blame Doc Rivers. Listen to me. If I'm a player or a coach and Sterling is still owner of the team, I'm not playing. I'm sorry. I'm out of here. See ya.
Wouldn't want to be you.
Thank you for finishing it for me.
It's just an absolute
Hey, if
mess.
if ESPN takes that, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, I'm killing you.
I'm just saying that the biggest objective the Clippers have to make is they need to start getting things resolved, because here it is, the 23rd of July.
Well, it's going to go a long time in the courts, man. That's going to be the problem. If they start losing sponsors, and he's got a $500 million payment to make to the banks for all his for all his loans. He forfeits on those loans. The bank wants the money back. He's going to have to turn around and sell some real estate, and that's apartment real estate, and that's going to change the apartment real estate in Los Angeles. I don't know why he just doesn't sell the team and get the hell out.
Yeah, and I understand that how this has totally gotten blown out of proportion.
It's crazy,
That's
man.
what I'm trying to say. And it's ugly. I know the way this world is, there's drama going on in the sports world and all over the world and stuff with this, but somehow you just need to realize, close the case and put an end to it. If I was Donald Sterling, I probably would say, you know what? I had a great run with the Clippers. I tried to turn a laughing stock around. I did sometimes, but I should just give up and retire. Look at the guy. The guy is in his 80s, and yet but we know that he is not going away without a fight. And, of course, he doesn't want to because he's suing the NBA. And again, like you said, and even what Frank said a couple months ago on a show, it's going to be ongoing if they can't get something resolved. In other NBA news, I just want to get away from Sterling and everything else in general. The next one, Jeff, the Cavs are upbeat on Kevin Love. But another team that's making news that's trying to get Kevin Love, been hearing rumors that the Chicago Bulls are making a push for him. And I know Encyclopedia Man, you would be very happy about that. What do you think, Jeff?
I think he's going to end up in Chicago.
With all the additions the Chicago Bulls have made, you are so right, Jeff, that they are going to be the heavy favorites by the beginning.
For me, right now, Chicago's the favorite, not freaking Cleveland. All those other freaking NBA experts, they're morons. Okay?
Even the Vegas odds are
morons. Even the bookies are morons. How the hell do you do that? I don't get it, okay? Right now, Chicago's the favorite. He goes to Chicago, forget about it. Josh could see them winning an NBA title this year.
Josh could, and then he would have a way. The Encyclopedia Man would have a way of sticking it to us after he had to pay.
Yeah, well, the way Chicago's roster is right now, to me, they're the favorite in the East. They get Love, they have a shot of winning an NBA championship. That's the difference right there. And if I'm Chicago, I go get Love to keep him away from Cleveland.
That's right, because it's very simple. Whatever team he chooses, if it's Chicago or Cleveland, that team is going to be the team that's going to be very tough in the Eastern Conference.
Now, from what I understand, Sean, Love doesn't want to play in Chicago. Love doesn't want to play in Cleveland. Love doesn't want to play in L.A. Love doesn't want to play in Oakland. Love doesn't want to play in Golden State. He wants to play in New York, from what I understand. So the trade is going to have to be, if we trade for him, he's going to have to sign. If he gets traded and says, listen, I'm not signing a contract, I want to be a free agent next year, there's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, and there's a rough situation. And then for Love, and Kevin Love's got a very big choice to make. Who knows which team he wants to go to? The Bulls are one, the Cavaliers are one, but again, it has to come to the fact about what is best for Kevin Love, about which team he wants to go to. Very debatable.
Very debatable. It's going to be an interesting NBA season, and also more with free agency to come. Hey, speaking about NBA, and since we're here, do you know that Dallas Mavericks voided the one-year contract recently signed by forward Rashard Lewis after learning he needs knee surgery? So
I don't know what's going on there in Dallas.
Rashard Lewis signed a one-year contract with Dallas on July 19th for the veterans minimum. He went and had the physical and failed the physical and found out that he needed knee surgery, so they voided the one-year contract. So that makes him a free agent immediately. Nobody's going to sign him when he needs knee surgery. How crazy is that?
That is crazy, and of course, lots of headlines going for the NBA.
And his career could be over. He's been, he's a 16-year NBA veteran, and he needs knee surgery now. His career could be over right now.
Jameer Nelson and the Mavericks near the deal. The Mavericks are closing in on signing former Orlando Magic point guard Jameer Nelson, according to sources briefed on the talks. I don't know what Mark Cuban's trying to do. I talked with a buddy of mine who's a big Maverick fan. He was saying he thinks that Mark Cuban is kind of screwing up the whole team, that he's too busy with television shows. I would happen to agree with that. Have you ever seen his new show on MSNBC? He's on some show, like some game show. I can't remember what it is. But yeah.
Hey, Josh, you don't want to have Kevin Love and Paul Gasol and Noah down low? What are you,
and then
stupid?
You got Derrick Rose.
And Derrick Rose? What are you, stupid?
Encyclopedia, man, this is a good advantage for you. You get Kevin Love, your team is well over the top to winning it. You'll have
Can you see this as a starting five? And I don't know who else would be the fifth. Whatchamacallit? Derrick Rose, Kevin Love, Pau Gasol, and Joakim Noah. Holy freaking Toledo! Are you kidding me?
And the Bulls would easily overtake the Cleveland Cavaliers if they had to match up in the playoffs. Now, another team that is out there that's still looking for a head coach, there is no news to report on the Los Angeles Lakers coaching situation. This is another story we can fit in before the break. The LA Lakers have not had a coach since April 10th, 2014, and questions continue to circulate and be big about who do the Lakers get as the head coach. I still would say Byron Scott is the only option, but this is so surprising that here it is late July and the LA Lakers do not have themselves a head coach.
Listen, you can at this point you can almost bet it's going to be Byron Scott.
3 interviews, why not? It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, you can almost bet it's going to be Byron Scott. You're exactly. Listen, it's only between Byron Scott and Mike Dunleavy. Those are the only two. Mike Dunleavy had 2 interviews. Byron Scott's had 3. So who else is it between? Or am I a jackass here and don't see it? You know, who else is it between? It's only between those 2. Make your decision and let's go already. What are you waiting for, Christmas? By then the season's on.
Yeah, and if you're the LA Lakers, you don't want to, Byron Scott would be the best option. He's got the experience with the Lakers. He's won championships. Mike Dunleavy, of course, would be a good fit because he took the LA Lakers to the 91 finals. And on that note, we're going to get to some more sports stories right after this commercial break.
Sports World Radio.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration.
Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, bringing you on a 2-hour sports journey each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. in the East, 3 p.m. in the West. And if you live in the Central,
Figure it out for yourself.
if they haven't been able to figure it out for themselves by now, you might as well just forget about it.
And I saw what you're saying. Hey, that's not for me to worry about. It is your team.
That's right.
Encyclopedia
That's
Man.
not for me to worry about. That's your team. But still, that's a good freaking team.
That's a very, very good team. And Tom Thibodeau has to be proud of all the progress that has been made for the Chicago Bulls. But we go back to it real quickly. The LA Lakers, and I think it's going to depend with that head coach what Kobe Bryant thinks, because I know Kobe Bryant will have a say in it, because Kobe realizes his time is coming up as an LA Laker. And with his time coming up as an LA Laker, he realizes fully well that he wants to find somebody that can make that team good. And, of course, remember, Phil Jackson, when he left, you had Rudy Tomjanovich, Frank Hamlin, then right back to Phil Jackson, then Mike Brown, Mike D'Antoni, and now here they are, again, looking for another head coach. LA's a mess. The Lakers, I know the Clippers are with the Sterling debacle, but the other debacle in LA is the LA Lakers finding themselves a good head coach. And I just don't know, Jeff. It's like you said, 2 coaching possibilities. One with 3 interviews, Byron Scott, and then the one with 2 interviews, and that's Mike Dunleavy.
What the hell is he waiting for? Christmas to find a coach?
I don't know what the Buss family or what Mitch Kupchak is trying to do, why they're waiting so long. I know with the Lakers, it's going to be another rebuilding year for the LA Lakers. And I remember seeing something, and I mentioned this to Frank, and I mentioned this to you. You already heard about it on a previous show a couple weeks ago. The LA Lakers in decline. Are they beginning? And I would say yes, they are beginning to decline. It's going to be, I think, a couple years until the LA Lakers become a power. And I know for Laker fans all over the world, that's not making them happy at all with how bad they've been the last few years.
No.
It's just 2 quick championships. Then after they got swept by Dallas, I knew that was kind of the end of their run.
Yeah, no, it's not making them happy at all. Not one stinking bit.
So I'd say lots of question marks for both teams, the Lakers and the Clippers.
Well, depending on what happens with Sterling, if Sterling leaves, then there's no question marks. If he stays, and there's a lot of question marks. But you really have to worry about not so much the players and the coach, but the sponsors. Because if you lose your sponsors, you can't play. If you lose your sponsors and you lose your fans, you can't play your players and your coach.
Right.
Right?
Indeed.
Without your sponsors and without your fans, there's no paying your team. So you're done. And that's detrimental to the NBA, so that's how they can get rid of them.
So, yeah, a lot of questions for both LA teams with Sterling and with the Lakers. We move to the NFL. As you pointed out, the ESPN has already gone traveling. They're going to visit the Dallas Cowboys. Now, other news to report, the Seattle Seahawks receiver, Sidney Rice, at the age of 27, has retired from the NFL.
Who's that?
Sidney Rice.
Okay.
Sidney Rice, of course, 27, finally had a chance to win the Super Bowl for the Seattle Seahawks. He has decided to retire. He suffered a torn ACL in a game at St. Louis last October and spent the rest of the season on injured reserve after undergoing knee surgery. He was released by the Seahawks after the season ended for the salary cap reasons, but resigned for a base salary of $1 million for 2014. It won't bother the Seahawks very much. You know Pete Carroll's going to have them ready to go. Seattle's going to be very, very, very tough to beat, and especially when they're the defending Super Bowl champions. We move to the team that the Seahawks went to. Of course, yes. Pat Bowlen, Jeff, your thoughts? He's stepping down after 30 years as owner of the Denver Broncos because of Alzheimer's disease.
Well, yeah, Hey, Donald Sterling, take a look. See what's going on. See what he's doing, Pat Bowlen. Okay? Pay attention, because that's what you should be doing. Because I bet you Donald Sterling is worse off than Pat Bowlen is in the mindset, so to speak.
Yeah, Pat Bowlen did a great job, and I don't blame him. He's had a great run. Now he just needs to fight this disease, which is really bad, Alzheimer's disease. And, of course, he's been there since 1984. John Elway said, quote, "It's a sad, sad day," Elway said. Pat has been a mentor, somebody I've looked up to. I can't say enough for what he's done for me, and I know what the football team meant to him. Other than his family, it was the most important thing in his life.
Well, yeah, of course it was. I mean, guy lived for them.
Yeah, and he really was the Denver Broncos. He won, of course, 2 Super Bowls, 1997 and 1998. And Denver, and of course, he turned the Denver team around, and especially some of the great teams that John Elway was on under Pat Nolan.
But you got John Elway there, so don't worry about it.
But I don't, the Broncos will probably say, you know what? Let's play for that former owner. Let's win it for him after all the work he has done. They, with Pat Bowlen when he was there, he was 307, 203, and 1 tie. Bowlen and the New York Giants founder Tim Mara are the only 3-decade owners in pro football history to win 60% of their games.
I understand that. But the guy's doing a smart thing. He's getting out before it gets too bad. So he's going out still with some kind of faculties. You know what I'm saying?
And, Jeff, here's the thing, too. Okay, so he's going to step down and won't bother the Broncos. They still have Elway running the operation. They still have a great ownership. Denver is going to be very tough when football season starts.
Not only that, I think his son is taking over. So it's staying in the family. So come on.
Yeah, like a family tradition. Yeah, I feel bad for him, too, Encyclopedia Man.
I feel bad for him. Yes, I do. I'm kind of going through the same thing with my dad out here. I feel bad for him, yes, and his family. But it is what it is. His family is not losing the team, and John Elway is there. Come on.
Elway did a heck of a job, and think about all the moves he did. He realized that first he started off with Tim Tebow when he came in there, and then after that he let Tebow go, made that trade, of course, with the Jets when he was there, and then brought in the top prize. And the big target, which was Peyton Manning. I
definitely feel bad for the guy. He's done a fantastic job as the owner. Okay, it happens to the best of us. Okay, I'm sure it's going to happen to me down the road. Well, I'll be calling everybody a rat bastard, really ornery-like. Okay, I'm dealing with it with my dad right now. It's a terrible thing to happen. But it is what it is, and if you accept it, and there's medication for it, and you accept it, you could be okay.
Yeah, I deal with something too. I'm not trying to get off sports talk here, but letting all the listeners know, I deal with the disability. It doesn't bother me. I live with it every day, and I realize I have strengths, I have weaknesses, but it doesn't make me a bad person.
And I bust his chops day in and day out just like he didn't have that disability, don't I, buddy?
Yeah, been doing it for 6 years. I had to learn a lot from Jeff in the 6 years we've been doing it.
Look at him. Look at him. He's still, Josh is still waiting for the shirt to come to finish off the bet. Unbelievable. If you would have got the shirt from shirtshopper.net, you would have had the damn thing already.
41 minutes past the hour. Another NFL story
Holy
coming
sea
in.
trout, man. Holy sea trout.
NFL Hall of Fame football star Jim Brown running out of time. How about this? To receive his 1964 NFL championship ring, has sued a memorabilia dealer. The 78-year-old Los Angeles resident filed the lawsuit Tuesday in Manhattan federal court against Lelands.com and Lelands Collectible Incorporated. So Jim Brown is all upset, Jeff, that he doesn't have his 1964 NFL championship
maybe
ring.
he shouldn't have gotten rid of it and he would have it.
Great running back for the Browns. Yeah, the lawsuit said the ring is priceless to the former Browns player. The bidding was around $58,948 Wednesday afternoon.
Which
Brown,
he doesn't
of course,
have.
Brown rushed for 12,312 yards and scored 106 touchdowns in 9 seasons before retiring at the peak of his career in 1965.
1965. Well, why doesn't he have the ring? Did he sell it because he needed money?
I think
if I remember correctly, way back he did sell it because he needed money, right?
Yeah.
His businesses or whatever were going crap and he needed money, so he sold it, and now he wants it back. Well, pony up the money and get it back. That's how I feel. It's not your ring no more. You sold it. If you want it back, you have to buy it back. You don't expect somebody to give it to you. Sean, does he expect somebody to give it to him?
No, he does not expect anybody to give it to him.
Should buy it back if he wants it back. He wants it back, right?
Yeah.
So buy it back. It's that simple. He's pissed off that it's being sold at auction?
Mm-hmm.
Is that basically what the article says?
Yeah, that's basically what it says, and that he's suing this person, this memorabilia dealer, because he wants that ring back. But, of course, he sold it because, he needed money. But
Unbelievable.
it was a really short story, though.
Unbelievable. Okay, speaking of short stories, we got 2 minutes before we got to do our first update, right? So, speaking of short stories, and this just came out about 50 minutes ago.
Okay.
Mike Tyson, our buddy Mike Tyson, who likes to play with birds. We had a lot of fun with that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson to present Evander Holyfield with Hall of Fame honor. That's the headline. Here's the article really quick. Mike Tyson will present fellow former boxing heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield with a trophy commemorating his induction to the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame on August 9th, according to a new report. The two rivals have come a long way since their bitter in-ring feud that culminated in Tyson twice biting Holyfield's ear during a fight in 1997, resulting in his disqualification. The fight was a rematch of their 1996 bout, which Holyfield won via stoppage. Tyson called the opportunity to meet with Holyfield again and help induct him into the Nevada Hall, a privilege and a high honor. Holyfield was seemingly more subdued, but no doubt sincere in saying of Tyson's involvement, "That's great." Holyfield will be inducted in a non-resident category in Nevada's Boxing Hall, along with former champs George Foreman and Roberto Duran. Additionally, many other fighters are being inducted in various categories this year, including Sonny Liston, Archie Moore, and Jack Dempsey. Tyson himself was inducted last year in the resident category. Tyson's last fought in 2005, losing to Kevin McBride, and Holyfield's last fight was in 2011, scoring a TKO win over Brian Nielsen. How about that? Tyson is going to present Holyfield with an award and commemorating his induction into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. How crazy is that? Holy Citra.
And on that note, we have to run to our first commercial break, right, Joe?
No, we got to run to our first update, right?
Yeah, a commercial break update. That's right.
Update commercial break. This update is brought to you by, and if we didn't do this update, ShirtShopper.net would be pretty upset. This update is brought to you by ShirtShopper.net. NFL season's coming, boys and girls. Make sure you got your NFL shirts. Head on over to ShirtShopper.net. When you get over there, move your cursor over to the Sports tab. In the drop-down box, click on NFL and pick your NFL team. ShirtShopper.net. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 46 minutes past the hour. We're going to start Major League Baseball on this Wednesday, July 23rd, 2014. In the American League, two finals from today. Afternoon baseball, the Royals over the White Sox by a score of 2-1. The Twins over the Indians by a score of 3-1. Bottom of the ninth inning, right now in Seattle, the Mets have a 3-2 lead against the Mariners. Seattle trying to come back to tie the game at 3 and possibly win it in the bottom of the ninth inning. Here are the other games that we have on this Wednesday night. The Rangers are playing the Yankees, Red Sox at the Blue Jays, Orioles at the Angels, and the Astros taking on the Athletics. We move to the National League, interleague play. Right now a game going on in progress. The Tigers have an 11-5 lead against the Diamondbacks. We stick going back to the National League. The Brewers over the Reds by a score of 5-1 today, and the Rockies over the Nationals by a score of 6-4. ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball, it'll be the Giants taking on the Phillies. And in the other games, the Dodgers taking on the Pirates, Marlins at the Braves, Rays at the Cardinals, and the Padres taking on the Cubs. That's all for the baseball. In the NBA, of course, the big news is Kevin Love, of course, is looking at two possibilities, the Cavs or the Bulls. The Chicago Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers are the two favorites. Cleveland is upbeat, thinking that if they can get Kevin Love, he could go to Cleveland and really make that team strong. However, another team that hasn't gone quietly in the Kevin Love sweepstakes is the Chicago Bulls. With all the moves they made, they could be the big favorite in the Eastern Conference. And, of course, the other news to report, the Mavs void Rashard Lewis after discovering that the veteran forward needed surgery on his right knee. In the NFL, big news to report, the Dallas Cowboys are the team that ESPN is visiting, as ESPN has like this van where it'll tour all 32 teams. Let's run to commercial break. This update was brought to you by ShirtShopper.net.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear. And do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. I can't help myself, Sean. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm sorry, dude.
I know.
Sean and I are having a conversation. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann here on SportsWorldRadio.com. We were having a conversation. I'm like, man, I got to turn the air. Because when Sean starts his update, I get about 5 minutes where I can get the air conditioner on here. It cools the room off a little bit. Right? And I turned around to Sean. I says, man, it's so freaking hot. I put shorts on. I'm in shorts today. And we're going, and the air is on. And I was just cooling off when I had to turn the air conditioner off. And I turned around to Sean, and I said, I should just take my shirt off. It's freaking hot in here. And then I turned around to him, and I said, I should just do the show nude. And he freaking, both of us just lost it. He's like, yeah, because it's hot. Yeah, no shit. Sweating my freaking hoo-ha off over here, okay?
Very, very hot.
Man, I got to, I can't take my shirt off because the thing that I got sitting, keeping my back straight, is not that smooth and it digs into my skin and I kind of don't like it. So I got to keep my shirt on from that happening. So I got to sit here and suffer in heat for you guys so I could do this. Do you know I lose probably close to 3 pounds every show? I come out of the studio after the show's over. I got to change my clothes. I'm drenched. Ridiculous, man. I do this for you peeps. For you peeps. Hey, what's our next topic, you rat bastard?
All right, the next story we go to the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys trio part of the new court. These are some of the stories that Encyclopedia Man sent to me yesterday. So we got a lot to get to before we have to get out of here at 5 p.m. Pacific. They came to the Dallas Cowboys a year apart. Des Bryant in 2010, Tyrone Smith and DeMarco Murray in 2011.
Say that name again. DeMarco Murray. What the hell?
Murray.
DeMarco
Murray. In 2011, the two represents what the Cowboys hope is their bright future, not a continuation of a 3-year run of mediocrity.
It is a 3-year run. Do you know, hey, Jerry Jones, you know since 2009, 22 of the 31 teams have made the NFL except for you? Have made the playoffs except for you? Your team stinks.
If he was on the show, he probably would say,
He's got no defense. He's got no defense for the stat. He's got no defense for that stat. Since 2009, 22 of the 31 NFL teams have made the playoffs, and you haven't. Where's your defense for that?
He can probably come up and say, I still have 3 Super Bowl rings, and I'm still very proud of that. You just wait until my time comes. I'll win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, keep telling your fans that. Meanwhile, you're making billions of dollars every year, and your fans are getting pissed off, but it don't seem that you care, does it? Holy sea trout. It's just ridiculous, man. I just don't get it. You can say all you want, Jerry Jones. The stats are against you.
Yeah, well, he'll keep saying, as long as I'm the owner, president, and general manager, I'll build that Cowboy team
As long as I'm the owner, general manager, and the president, I'm going to do it my way, and you're going to be in the crapper every year until then. Or until you figure out that Tim Tebow is not your quarterback. You know? You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah. There's another one with the Cowboys. Whedon says he's excited for camp. We'll miss Sun. He goes, the Dallas Cowboys arrive at the Naval Base, Ventura County today for the long grind of training camp.
Yeah, Ventura County. Where are they? They're in California practicing. Correct? Correct? Yeah. Ventura County, California, right?
I'd have to take a look at that.
No, I know that for a fact. That's where their training camp is. In Oxnard, they used to be in Oxnard, now they moved it down there. I know where it is. In the heat and the sun of freaking in California. Yeah, it's a great place to put it, you dumbasses.
So Brad Whedon says he's excited. He says
Sean,
he's ready to get going.
Sean, where does your team, the Patriots, practice? Don't they practice in New England?
They practice someplace in New England, yes.
Yeah, and I know the Giants practice somewhere in New York or Jersey. I know the Jets do.
Let's see. The Giants, they practice in, what is it? During summer training camp, they go to Albany, New York.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is the Dallas Cowboys go to California for training camp when almost every other team stays at home. What's up with that? I know for a fact the San Diego Chargers practice right here in San Diego. Why did the Dallas... Hey, I got an idea, Jerry Jones. Why don't you have training camp in Dallas? Let's see how your team does after that. Holy freaking cannoli, man.
Jerry Jones would probably be like on the show, he goes, I'm just trying to be creative, and I'm trying some new things here. Come on.
Hey, did I see somewhere yesterday that the Oakland A's signed a 10-year deal to stay in their park? Did I see that right?
I didn't see it until you mention it now.
Did I see that right? I thought I saw that yesterday. The Oakland A's are staying in their ballpark. They just signed a 10-year deal with them. I thought I saw that right. Man, it's smoking hot in here. I'm sweating.
Well, we got another minute to go before we go to break.
Yeah, that's going to do me any good. It's still going to be hot in here.
The Encyclopedia Man did say to you in some of your comments, he goes, that's what you get where you are.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's not that. It's because I can't turn the air conditioner on during the show. If I could turn the AC on, I wouldn't be bitching and moaning. It's hotter in the studio than it is outside. It's because the studio is wall-to-wall insulated, my friends. So it gets a little warm in here. During the winter, it gets a little chilly. During the summer, it gets a little warm.
I have to get hardwired, and I have to go to the study, and it really pulls up in here.
So
We've reached the top of the hour. We got to run to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
He gets to sit in the study and do the show, and I get to sit in the studio and sweat my hoo-ha off. Sports World Radio with Jeff Escobar, Showman. We'll be right back.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean, man. I just ran in the house to get some iced tea. Fill my cup up with some iced tea during the commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got back from shopping. Me and the old man went shopping today, and we got back about 1:30, 1:45, just enough time for me to get ready for the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I bought something today that I haven't bought because it's been hot, right?
Right.
I'm going to eat me an ice cream sandwich while you talk.
Well, for the next sports story, there is somebody, however, who would like to come in.
Okay.
Encyclopedia Man says, would you want me to come in? Would you like to come into the show?
No, I don't want you to come into the show. I want the air conditioner on.
You don't want to add another participant to the Skype conversation?
No, we're good.
About sports?
We're good. Come on.
Okay.
Hey,
All right, so that's what the story is from the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Whedon says he is ready to go. This will be Brandon Whedon's first training camp away from home, so to speak. The Cleveland Browns practiced at their facility in his 2 years. Whedon has heard the talk about the cool weather and setup of camp from his Dallas Cowboy teammates.
Cool weather?
Yeah.
In Ventura?
Yes.
In Ventura, California. Cool weather?
Yeah, that's what he says. He's heard of cool weather.
Dude, it's fucking 90 degrees out here.
He eats an ice cream sandwich, and that's his normal reply. Oh,
cool
my
weather,
gosh.
cool weather, my petunias. It's freaking hot. He's going to get to camp, and he ain't going to be happy. I'm telling you. You know it's cooler outside than it is in the studio right now?
Yeah, I know. Jeff's just itching for cooler weather to come his way because of how hot it is.
No, I just want the air conditioner on to cool me off. I don't need the cool weather. I just want the air conditioner on to cool me off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all. What do you got for me next?
All right, the next story that we get to, we go back to more of the, actually, let's see, Brett Favre. He says, here's another story. He goes, Cutler has all the tools. Jay Cutler can take the Chicago Bears to the Super Bowl, according to future Hall of Famer Brett Favre, who believes that the enigmatic quarterback might now be hitting his prime.
Who?
Jay Cutler. Brett Favre is saying that he could take the Bears to the Super Bowl.
Let me mull that over for a second. Brett Favre says that Jay Cutler
yes,
can take the Chicago Bears to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
To the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brett. What the hell's going on with you in retirement, dude? Do you know something I don't? Do you know something that Josh Lopez, a Chicago Bears fan, doesn't?
What?
I don't know, because how the hell is Jay Cutler going to take the Bears to the Super Bowl?
That would be kind of complicated for him to do that. Asked on ESPN 1000 Carmen and Jerko show on Monday whether Chicago could advance to the Super Bowl with Cutler under center. Here's what Brett Favre said. He goes, quote, I think they can, adding that it appears the Bears are finally starting to put enough talent around the quarterback after focusing for so many years on the defense.
I think they can. I think they can. I think they can. What do you like, the train that could? I think I can. 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 The hell? Obviously, Josh thinks. He's like, yes, the Bears are loaded this year.
Yeah, he probably, and I know when he sent me this story, I said, oh, you know, it's like, Jerko is just like Jeff. That's what the Encyclopedia Man
first
says.
Of all, first of all, you spelled Jerko wrong. That's first of all. Okay? You spelled Jerko wrong. It's spelled Jedyrko and pronounced Jerko. How crazy is that? You know why I know that? Because when I went to go apply for the PA job at San Diego Padres, That was one of the names that was on the piece of paper that you had to say. Now batting for the San Diego Padres, number 7, Jed Jerko. Jerko, number 7. There you go. See?
Chicago's brass does, too, considering the organization reported Cutler back in January with a contract extension, of course, worth $126 million. Cutler celebrated his 31st birthday back in April. Whoa, and somebody just popped on my Skype, and Fran Gallo. In April, and although players' physical skills often start to diminish after the age of 30, Favre pointed to a pair of former MVPs and making a case for the Chicago quarterback.
Okay, do me a favor. Write to him on Skype and tell him we'll bring him in after the next update when we go to commercial.
Okay.
Tell him after our next commercial break, we'll bring him in, which is in about 5 minutes.
Okay, all right.
And I'll sit here.
All right, I'm doing it now.
And I'll sit here and just talk some small talk while you're doing that.
And it'll give Jeff a chance to cool off.
What did you say?
And I said, and it'll give Jeff a chance
No, before
to
that.
cool off.
What were you talking about before I rudely interrupted you? I told you
we
to
were
call
talking
him.
about the extension that Jay Cutler got.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Jay Cutler. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Jay Cutler marry one of those broads from the Hills or something like that? I know you won't know, but Josh would know. I think he did. I don't. Okay, I know for Jay Cutler is not in the top 15 on Jaws's list. I believe Jay Cutler was either 19th, 17th, somewhere around there. I can't remember correctly. Somewhere around there, if I remember. I'm going to see if I can go and find it now. Because I know I have it. But I don't know if he could carry that team. He throws interceptions at the wrong freaking time. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to get... And that's a tough division. Anybody in that division can win that division. You got the Packers, you got the Bears, and you got the Lions.
That
my.
NFC North, if I look at it correctly, Jeff, I believe it's going to be a 3-team race. I'm going to rule out the Vikings. It'll be the Packers, Bears, Lions. Minnesota is out. Why? Because I just don't think that the Minnesota Vikings are strong enough to compete in the NFC North and that they've got enough, that they'll have enough to compete. It's going to be tough. But the Packers and the Bears, look what happened last year, the last game of the season that broke the hearts of Chicago Bear fans after when the Packers came back and won that game, and they went 8-7-1 to get into the playoffs. Hey, at least it was a winning record, not unlike the Seattle Seahawks when they went 7-9 and won the division and made the playoffs.
And
so I'm just saying, Jeff, that
and
can't
Detroit's
wait to
got
see
a
how
new
well that NFC North looks.
And Detroit's got a new coach, right?
Yes, because remember last year they fired Schwartz because Detroit Lions collapsed toward the end of the season.
Right. So they got a new coach, and Jay Cutler is number 19 on Jaws' list. Okay. Quarterbacks that are ahead of him, Andy Dalton, Alex Smith, Matthew Stafford, Nick Foles, Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, Tony Romo, Eli Manning, Joe Flacco, Russell Wilson. Just to name a few. I didn't even get to the big boys yet. Just to name a few. I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough division they're in. Okay? I don't know if they can do it. Okay? And I'm sure Josh would love to see him do it as a Chicago Bears fan. I'm sure he would love to see him do it.
Yeah. Jaws is an expert.
Why? Listen, the guy played in the league. The only thing he really gets is he happens to be an expert at quarterbacks because he played it, and he analyzes it. Josh, he analyzes it more than you analyze wrestling. And I know you analyze wrestling an awful lot. So he analyzes quarterbacks more than... You got to remember, that's what he does. He just analyzes quarterbacks because he was one. So he knows what to look for. You know? As far as I'm concerned, his list is right, although I'd like to see Romo a little further down. You know? Hey, Chase Headley from the Padres got traded to the Yankees, jumped on a flight from Chicago to New York, got there in the second inning, pinched hit, stayed in the game, and then won the game for the Yankees in the 14th inning. What a freaking day that must have been, huh?
Must have been a wild ride, no question about it. And that was a big trade, but I still don't think it's going to help the Yankees. I don't think it will because, Jeff, there's still a lot that needs to be taken care of.
How bad are the Yankees missing Alex Rodriguez at third base this year? Not just his bat, but just him playing third base. They've gone through how many? 5 this year at third? 5 different players at third? How bad are they missing him at defense at third base this year?
I say that the Yankees, that with the loss of Alex Rodriguez, it's been a distraction for them. I was wondering before the season began, Jeff, how could they do? How are they going to do without him? And of course, they made all the moves. They got Ellsbury. They got McCann.
Yeah, but they're missing. They're missing his defense. They're missing his defense. They've had 5 different players at third base. They're missing his defense. I don't care about his bat. They're missing his defense.
Yeah.
You know, they are missing him at third base. They're missing his defense without a doubt. Not just his bat, but his defense as well. Hey, we're going to run to a quick break. You're listening to Sean Mann, Jeff Eskow on
Sports World Radio.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. It is Wednesday. Finally, he is here. Our hockey guru of Sports World Radio. Only thing is, there's no freaking hockey going on, but we're bringing him in anyway. I'm sure he'll sit back and talk with us about a whole bunch of other sports. Our good friend, Ron Gallo. What's going on, buddy?
Good to have you guys back, or should I say it's good to be back. I've been away for a while. I forget how this works.
Yeah, you've been doing your family thing and having a family reunion and taking care of business. I understand all that. You got to do what you got to do, my friend.
Appreciate that. You mentioned that there's no hockey going on. Well, that's not entirely true.
Yeah, you know what happened? I do believe that Ovechkin and his girlfriend split up, right?
Yes, they did.
There's your hockey news, kids.
Getting a little Access Hollywood style, but yeah, it's true. Alex Ovechkin is back on the market, ladies.
Who was his girlfriend or his fiance? It was a big name, right?
It is. She's excuse me. She is a model.
Yeah, I thought so. I saw the headline and I recognized the last name, but I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah, the girlfriend, she's the one that called it off, and it's kind of interesting to see what happens there. She's a tennis star, Maria Kirilenko.
Oh, Maria Kirilenko, that's it. Yeah, good for her. She doesn't want to date anybody who can't win a freaking, marry anybody who can't win a Stanley Cup.
No, well, he's had his tough share of goes with anything. Don't forget the Winter Olympics in Sochi was just not that long ago, and they got ousted on home soil big time.
Sorry, I don't want to marry you. You're a loser. That's her talking to Ovechkin.
Exactly.
You know how much I'm an Ovechkin fan now. Come on, anything bad that happens to him makes me happy.
I haven't heard you guys' thoughts about LeBron. I mean, you guys talking about Alexander Ovechkin. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be a part of the Washington Capitals for a while, even though he won't have a girlfriend. But what about this LeBron? I mean, you guys have probably talked it to death, but real quickly, summarize it for me.
Hey, did you hear what LeBron did to all his Cleveland neighbors? Because of because of all the traffic and everything that's going on around LeBron's house, it's bothering all the neighbors. You know, people are hanging out at his house, and also it's a lot of traffic and a lot of stuff going on in LeBron's neighborhood. And I'm pretty sure it's bothering the neighbors, right?
Yeah.
His 12 neighbors, correct? So
okay.
I don't know if this was LeBron, and I doubt it was LeBron. I'm sure it was LeBron's wife that did this. They sent each neighbor a dozen cupcakes with a note apologizing for all the troubles that they had to go through because of all the fans being in the neighborhood. How about that?
Well, you know what? It's a good thing. You know what? A lot of people talk nasty about LeBron James, and the thing is that when you're an elite player, sometimes you develop a chip on your shoulder, and I'm not saying LeBron is over him above that, but certainly it's nice to see him trying to touch base with Cleveland and his neighbors and the fans because, my biggest question when he said he's going home is what is going to happen with all of the fans that burned his jersey?
But he only signed a 2-year deal.
What'll end up happening, Ron, is, he signed a 2-year contract. Cleveland fans, the moment they heard the news that LeBron James was going to go right back to Cleveland, they were elated. They were very happy about this news because Cleveland fans like saying it's all about payback. It's all about payback, and it's all about forgiveness. And the Cab fans are excited. They're like ready to sell out every game. But we wonder, though, if it's not forever, if it could be temporary. And he could be there for 2 quick years, and then he could amscray and take his talents to another location.
Well, it goes right down to what I always say. When you're a fan, you're not a fan of the player. You're a fan of the team, and especially if you can't get over the fact that a player gets traded or decides that he wants to move. That's what free agency is all about, and being able to select a team that you want to go and play for. It shows that people, when they talk about fans and the players that play for their teams, it's not the person in the jersey, it's the jersey on the player.
Correct. That's why I kept saying to you folks, when Carmelo Anthony was a free agent, I said to everybody, and I said it on the air many times, I could care less whether he stays or goes. Because I am a Knick fan, not a Carmelo Anthony fan, a Knick fan.
And I think a lot of it gets lost. I think lots of it gets muddied through the season. And then whenever there's significant trade dates, like the trade deadline dates or free agency dates or anything like that, that's when people realize that things are extremely muddy. It wasn't that they were cheering for LeBron James when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers the first time. It was that they were cheering for Cleveland and they wanted a player of the stature of LeBron James to deliver them the hardware. When he left, it was obvious that they believed that he could have done something for that team. Now they're welcoming him back with open arms.
Fans are
but
fickle, aren't they, Ron?
We're on a topic that maybe has already been beaten to death.
It has been. The media is totally blowing it out of proportion, Ron. And what I'm really happy about, like I think so many people are, is at least we didn't have another decision where he went on national television in July of 2010 and announced that I was going to take my talents to South Beach to go play for the Miami Heat. At least he's probably said, you know what? That was too much. We know it was all about money. Why don't I just sign with the team and be done with it? And so he decides to leave Miami. And, of course, Miami could still be in contention next year because Wade re-signed with Miami and Bosch re-signed with Miami, that 5-year contract. But you know how it is when players sign big, gigantic contracts and then they just decide that it could be temporary and then teams look to trade them to another team.
Take a look. Sorry, a little bit of a pregnant pause there. We were both thinking what we're going to talk about next. The NHL hockey. Very quickly, I just wanted to say that there is some hockey news besides Alexander Ovechkin. One of the things that's happening is the Stanley Cup is making its rounds to all of the hometowns of the Los Angeles Kings players. And Rob Blake just yesterday tweeted out a picture of him at a Tim Hortons restaurant in Canada where he was filling it up with Timbits. Those are those little round, they're what's left over from the donut holes. But the Timbits were filling up the Stanley Cup. What do you think some of the other things that Stanley Cup has been through?
I bet you there's been some serious beer been drinking through that thing.
There has been some serious alcohol. That thing has been in some big parties. It doesn't happen very often anymore in today's day and age. But not too many years ago, they were on a manhunt for the Stanley Cup because it went missing at a party.
Yeah, but But each guy gets to take it, right?
Basically, they get it for a 24-hour period in their hometown.
Right. So, and they're responsible for it. So you can't tell me if they have it for a 24-hour period, they ain't drinking something out of it.
Oh, absolutely. There's always something in that cup, whether it be alcohol, whether it be a baby, whether it be Timbits, or whether it be something completely different.
Whether it be milk or something like that, right.
The Stanley Cup handler is now with the cup, and some things that they won't allow in the Stanley Cup, there's really only one. And that's basically a flammable object. They've done away with putting fires inside the Stanley Cup.
They used to do that a long time ago, didn't they?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I remember. In fact, if I remember correctly, I remember seeing the Islanders doing that.
That's right. That's probably one of the last times that ever happened. But one thing that still happens quite regularly is it goes for a drink itself. If not in a local watering hole, absolutely in somebody's backyard pool or sometimes even in the lake. They've had to fish the damn Stanley Cup out a few times out of a lake.
I bet you that the Stanley Cup has been in more bars than you and me and Sean and Josh and Frank and Nick combined.
Without question.
Right?
Without question.
I've been in, when I was younger, I've been to a lot of bars. I've been to a lot of bars.
Hell, I used to work at some bars.
I've been to you and I have probably been to a lot of, with the elder statements here. You and I have probably been to a lot of bars. I'm sure Frank, too, in his youth, a lot of bars. But I bet you that thing has been in more bars than all of us combined.
Absolutely.
No doubt in my mind.
So the big news that is going on in the NHL right now is all about free agency, and it is now getting into the arbitration period. In fact, arbitration started earlier this week on Monday. Will run through until August the 4th. Some notable players that have filed for arbitration. The big names, Dwight King with the Los Angeles Kings, Justin Fontaine out of the Minnesota Wild. Both Lars Eller and PK Subban with the Montreal Canadiens have yet to come up to any kind of an agreement with the team. Other names, the New York Rangers, Matt Zuccarello and Derek Brassard have both filed for salary arbitration and a chance to see if they can't get a contract that they like. The goaltender, James Reimer, the Toronto Maple Leafs. This one's an interesting story. If you guys remember the Toronto Maple Leafs, at the very beginning of the season, they were on a huge roll. It was like they were unbeatable. And they were planning the Stanley Cup parade through the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. But they free fell so hard, so fast that they never even made it into the playoffs, the postseason. And certainly James Reimer is a goaltender that had his fair share of bouts with the media, with coaches' comments, with everything that's been going on. It's made very clear that he wants out of the Toronto Maple Leafs organization, but no other team has stepped up to the plate to claim him as a goaltender. So now he finds himself in salary arbitration with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just kind of interesting on that note.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is pretty interesting, actually. That is very interesting.
And NHL training camp is, I've been hearing, 5 weeks away, Ron, because, it's coming up. That around middle or late August, the exhibition starts in September.
They don't have a very long off season, do they, NHL?
No, not really. They have basically July, August, and a portion of September, and that's about it. You talk about training camps. To correct you a little bit, Sean, rookie camps have been going on for a couple of weeks already.
Wow,
yep.
Really?
It goes so fast, and that means that the NHL, rookie camps, and that the players don't have much time off.
Hey,
they don't.
The NHL had their NHL draft the day after the NBA had their draft, right?
That is correct. Yeah, it was on the same weekend.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was the day after. Yeah, because I was flipping through the channels and I saw it. I was like, holy moly, check this out. The day after the NBA's got their draft, the NHL's got their draft. Wow. Talk about being right in suit with each other. Because they've been like that. They've been, for as long as I've been alive, it's pretty much been the NHL and NBA season just runs with each other, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's become more and more like that, and you can really notice it in the postseason. From the start of the playoffs till the end of the season, and into their free agency period, the NBA and the NHL mirror each other very closely with dates.
Are you with us, Sean? Yeah. See, Sean's thunderstorms are starting to kick in over there, so we might be losing that rat bastard.
That might have been the thunderstorm that rolled through here last night. Some good lightning that came through there.
Really?
So anyways, let's talk about some of the players that are now putting on new jerseys with new teams for the start of the new season. There has been a long list of players since the free agency started up on July the 1st, but some notables, I guess, would include Dan Boyle, who was playing with the San Jose Sharks, is now a member of the New York Rangers. Maybe even a bigger one. How about Ryan Miller with the Vancouver Canucks? Of course, Ryan Miller was the big goaltender with the Buffalo Sabres, got traded to the St. Louis Blues. The St. Louis Blues, that was an interesting one. Jeff, do you remember how well St. Louis was playing before the trade deadline?
No.
They were playing extremely well. They were challenging for the President's Trophy out of the West. And something just happened, and it goes back to the old statement, and I'm a big believer in this, that sometimes you may not have the perfect team on paper, but sometimes you should never tinker with it because you're going to screw with the chemistry in the dressing room. And I'm not saying Ryan Miller's the reason for that, but perhaps the player that left the dressing room for the St. Louis Blues and went to Buffalo was the reason why things started to deteriorate. For whatever reason, the apple cart got upset with that big trade on the trade deadline date. Ryan Miller came in, and the St. Louis Blues were never the same team, even though they were supposed to have a better goaltender at the end of the day. But it just goes back, like I said, Jeff, it just goes back to what I say. Sometimes you shouldn't screw with the chemistry.
Yeah, I believe you. Hey, Sean, you with us?
Yeah, I apologize, everybody. Technical difficulties.
No worries.
That thunderstorm rolling right in.
Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there, Jeff.
Okay, so we're gonna blow through the update because I don't want you to get cut off in the middle of it. We're gonna run to a quick commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and Ron Gallo on
Sports World Radio.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, and not Sean, man. He's having some thunder and lightning storms up there in Idaho, where he's from. So we are going to keep Ron here, and Ron's going to play co-host for the rest of the show. Ain't that so there?
We'll give it a shot anyways.
Yeah, why not? We can give it a shot. That's right. We're flexible over here. We can move and groove and do all that good stuff. And we're sitting here talking with Ron Gallo, Sports World Radio's hockey guru. We know hockey season is in their off season, but with Ron, there's never an off season with hockey. Ain't that so, buddy?
No, there's always something going on. It's the case with any sport. But I wanted to ask you a question, and this one will come out of left field, but it's not going to surprise you. Go back to 1980 in the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid, and would you agree that that was perhaps one of the big catalysts for the game of hockey, especially in the East Coast, for American kids?
Yes, without a doubt.
Now, the Arizona Coyotes, they were known as the Phoenix Coyotes up until the end of last season. They've had a name change here over the offseason. The Arizona Coyotes are starting to find that there are players that have been playing the game since they arrived pre the 2000s, late, I guess they started, what was it, 1995, 1996?
Right around there, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, so when you're talking kids that are 1995, 1996, you're now talking kids that are turning 19, 20 years old. These are kids that are eligible to be drafted into the NHL. And what we're seeing is that there is a small little bubble of Arizona kids that are coming through. I just find it kind of interesting because you know the troubles that the Phoenix Coyotes have had, especially in the last couple of years with the recession, and there's really still a lot of trouble financially down there in that part of the United States. But the Arizona Coyotes are trying to make a go of it. They could end up turning into a team that's now got a wealth of talent that has been growing up in the desert right beside them.
You know what? I kind of find that funny because it's the desert. Where the hell are you going to find ice in the desert?
It's tough. It's absolutely tough. And you know, the thing is we had him from Phoenix, Arizona, played with the Spruce Kings last year. His name was Danny Corelli. And he talked about, you know, playing the game of hockey in a desert community. And it's absolutely true. It's tough to find ice, but there are little pockets where arenas are maintained almost year-round. And it's expensive because of the air conditioning costs. You know how hot it can get in the desert. You're basically living on the doorstep of the desert right now, and you're trying to do this show without air conditioning. Certainly, you can't play the game of hockey without air conditioning when you're in the state of Arizona. But Dan Corelli, a kid just outside of Phoenix, grew up and cheered for the Phoenix Coyotes, decided to play the game at a young age, found the ice that was required, had an opportunity to play with select teams, and then ended up playing last year with the Prince George Spruce Kings. Wow. Had a great season, got to experience the game at the higher level being played on Canadian soil in the, basically the Great White North in a winter community. But the difference for that kid to go from Arizona to Prince George and play hockey, it's hard to describe because you're basically dealing with the climate where it's summer almost year round to a climate where it's almost winter for 8 months of the year.
Yeah, no, it's tough out there in Arizona. And correct me if I'm wrong, but hockey is most likely the most expensive sport, correct?
Hockey is one of the most expensive sports, without question. Now, when you look at it based on per game scenario, football might challenge them because you can only play so many football games in a week. You can only play so many football games in a season. In that respect, football may be a little bit more expensive than hockey, but without question, dollar for dollar, you want to play hockey, you got to be prepared to put out some big bucks. And we're not just talking registration fees. We are, of course, talking the equipment. $300 sticks, $1,000 for a pair of skates is not unheard of.
And all the pads you need. And you got to figure if you're a goalie, you're screwed.
Well, a goalie, and this is that you don't want to be getting hand-me-down pads either, because obviously it's like getting a hand-me-down helmet. If the kid's off of a bike once, you can't put that helmet on another kid.
No, right.
If those goalie pads have stopped 1,000 shots, you can't really put those pads on another kid and expect them to stop another 1,000 shots with them.
Yeah, but pads are expensive, aren't they? You got the pads, you got the helmet, you got the glove, you got the stick, then all the stuff underneath the shirt.
Everybody can visualize the goaltender by their big leg pads that they wear. They start just above the knee and go down to the skate. Those big pads now cost on average $1,600 a set.
Just for the pads, kids. Just for the pads. And don't forget, you got to buy the glove.
And there's still the glove, the blocker.
And the blocker, and the stick, and the face mask.
And the stick. Remember I said a stick is about $300? That's for a forward or a defenseman. The big goaltender stick, you're looking at $500 plus.
You're talking close to probably $3,000 just to get all your goalie equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The helmet's got to be expensive, man.
Yeah. And going back to that Arizona connection, Sean Burke, who's now the assistant general manager with the Arizona Coyotes, he played goal for the Phoenix Coyotes. His playing goal. He stays in the family. Sean made a lot of him as a professional athlete, but without question, that's a very expensive I guess that's a very expensive hand-me-down for your son.
It is, man. How crazy is that? I mean, come on. That's expensive. I don't get it. I mean, I played goalie on roller hockey and street hockey, okay? And I was using freaking shin guards. Back then, you're using shin guards. You weren't using pads. You know?
Yeah.
I borrowed a buddy of mine shin guards, and boom, and I put on a chest protector and a face mask, and there you go. I'm a goalie. Let's go. Right?
There you go. Yeah.
Nowadays,
and that's the way you used to do it too.
Well, back then, when you and I were kids, 40-some-odd million years ago, those pads weren't as big as they are now, right?
You know.
And back then, kids like myself and you couldn't afford those pads, so we used catcher shin guards and just added some stuff to the sides, right?
Yeah.
Come on, you got to do what you got to do. But nowadays, it's just crazy. Hey, did you hear about, really quick, before we go to break, did you hear about San Diego Padres outfielder Maben has been suspended for 25 games?
I heard something about that. I don't have all the details. You're going to give me those on the other side of the break, aren't you?
Yeah, well, in fact, you know what? We're gonna go a little bit longer because I'm thinking we're gonna end the show a little bit early. So we'll continue this right here, and then after this, I think we'll get out of here because the sweat is just getting in my eyes, and I'm having a little hard time seeing it, to tell you the truth. San Diego Padres outfielder Cameron Maben has been suspended 25 games by Major League Baseball on Wednesday for testing positive for amphetamine. Okay, I read this article earlier today. I've been undergoing treatment for several years for a medical condition, attention deficit disorder, for which I previously had a therapeutic use exemption. Unfortunately, in my attempts to switch back to a medicine that had been previously okayed, I neglected to follow all the rules, and the result, I tested positive, Maben said. I want to assure everyone that this was a genuine effort to treat my condition, and I was not trying in any way to gain an advantage in my baseball career, unquote. How about that?
He goes on to say in the article that I'm reading, too, as well, that he understands that he has to accept responsibility for this mistake, and he'll take his punishment and will not challenge it.
Well, yeah, because he has, unfortunately, he has ADD. There are, if I remember correctly in this article, there are, I don't think it says it again, there are 119 therapeutic use exemptions granted for ADD drugs. How about that?
Wow.
100 for that. And he's not the only player that has ADD in the league. You know that.
Well, if there's 119 exceptions, then there's probably 118 other.
You know? So, I mean, 119 people that have therapeutic use for that particular drug. Okay? So, obviously, he's not the only one using it. And obviously, the baseball and MLB knows about it. And he's trying to get back onto the right medicine. And if I remember correctly, it said in the article, and I believe we're both looking at the same article, it said what the drug was. And I'm trying to find it, and I can't see it.
Oh, I just clicked away from it, but it had it listed as well. Okay.
Right. And I don't see it, but that's okay. I read it earlier today. And he's, hey, he made a mistake, and he admitted he made a mistake, and he said he wasn't trying to get better. He was just trying to take care of his unfortunate,
his ADD.
Yeah, his unfortunate disorder. Right?
Yeah, no, it's not a position that you want very many people to be in, but you're in the spotlight, you got to be able, and he admits it, but you're in the spotlight, you got to do things correctly.
There was 7 positive tests for Adderall in that span. So he tested positive 7 times, and then they said, okay, that's it.
Wow.
He's trying to get a handle on it. It takes a long time to get a handle on it, But he's not going to debate it. He's not going to do anything. He's just going to, No,
he's just going to accept it, and he goes on to say that he apologizes to his family, his friends, and his fans.
Right. See, under the drug agreement between MLB and its players union, 25 games is the penalty for a second positive amphetamine test. A first positive results only in 6 unannounced follow-up tests over the next year. So obviously this is his second, you know what I mean? Second time getting busted. So, but he's trying to get it. So it's his ADD that's causing him to do that. So at least he admitted it, and he's not trying to get over on Major League Baseball. Hey, like I said, we're getting out of here just a little bit early today. I want to thank everybody for listening to us today here on our Wednesday show. Remember, we'll be back tomorrow for another edition of Sports World Radio, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. in the West. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. For Sean Mann, Ron Gallo, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio. Peace out, bitches.
Hey, boy, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, kid. So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over. See you next time.